Hey everyone, this is Delta. This is week 4 of the Ascendancy tournament. As you may notice, I am recording this in post-commentary. I've cropped out the comms audio because I want to do a bit of a game breakdown to go over a few of my mistakes as well as what I'm thinking throughout the game. So let me know what you think of this, as I might do this in the future. Anyways, this draft felt really good for us. We ended up first picking Victor, and we ended up getting Jin Nautilus as a response to Volibear Ezreal. It felt really good for us to get it. Taking away Nautilus away from Death Fire as it's one of his strongest picks, and getting Jin in order to be able to lock down Cuddy on Ezreal easier.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Anyways, we just default to a 5-point initially, but then you'll see me here that I'm actually moving my camera up and I'm actually walking towards topside. This was called late, it wasn't actually called in pregame, but we ended up noticing that Culling usually like doing topside invades for the most part. Exodus is over on the left of my camera, so the idea is that if they decide to invade where Exodus is standing, he would just drag them away, and then the other 4 of us would just come around on the flank in order to collapse. They didn't actually end up doing this though, so we just end up walking back to the bot side and giving King his leash. Waiting for Centerman. Face check into the bush. And even if they were standing here, we weren't exactly too scared for the most part. We have Nautilus Jin level 1. Pretty standard level 1 playing off. We're just going for last hits at the moment.
Shine bright.
Bliss comes only in the moment before I
Normally I would auto on this caster, but the thing I was scared about the most would be a level 2 gank from Artemis. I wasn't too familiar with how he was going to be hot this game, so I ended up playing a bit more passive than I actually wanted to. So we just ended up playing for the level 2, getting a good trade and whatnot. We do end up pushing for level 2. Thunder lands the hook. I missed the W, but that's whatever. We do end up forcing the flash out of the Lux. So we are up in resources at this point. Feeling pretty strong, but still worried about a potential level 2 gank. Get an auto Q onto Ezreal. I'm just playing back now at this point.
First blood.
I didn't want to pop pots super early, so I'm just playing off of fleet. Cinder's playing towards the river, so I'm just playing back, waiting for the wave to bounce back. And then once we get the wave into a frozen position, we're able to look for more stuff at this point, because they're playing a double range lane and we have a hard engage support. After seeing Volibear mid, King actually calls us towards Raptors because Artemis was invading. So we do end up collapsing. At this point, I don't actually press W onto Xerath. It would have been possible for us to get the kill, but I just wanted to play off of Nautilus's hook at this point. We just land the hook, and we do secure the kill onto the Volibear. So we shut him down pretty nicely, and we get Victor double buffs.
waiting. Everyone is watching.
At this point, because Cuddy's backed off the wave completely, we can just assume that he recalled. So I'm just trying to shove the wave out at this point and get a recall of my own. because I stay for this wave, I'll be up in CS.
You will learn
And I'll have a
what
better back than he will.
is.
Ignore me missing a caster minion there.
You inspire me.
And normally I don't like to level traps until later into the game, but because I wanted to shove the wave, I do end up leveling traps early. Typically for when I play Jhin, I usually just dump all my points into Q and W, because E isn't used for really anything throughout the lane, except for crushing the wave. I get Swifties, I get a longsword, I get a control ward, and I'm just heading back to lane. And I feel really strong off this base. Having Swifties purchase, I'm able to dodge a lot of the skill shots that are in the Ezreal Lux line. And I have a longsword just for a tiny bit more damage compared to Cuddy sitting on a tier on his starting buy, and a Sheen.
Banish the shadow.
At this point, we're just playing slow, just playing around the wave. We don't exactly have to force anything. We just want to be playing around jungle for the most part, unless we look for a good opportunity for ourselves. A deadly flourish. Now, at this point, the wave's dead, and they're still playing super far up, so Snyder tries to go for a flash play here. He ends up missing, but honestly, it's not the worst at all. Because we have pressure on the wave at this point, and we're still crashing the wave. If he lands the hook, it's good for us. If he misses, it's whatever.
An ally has been slain.
Here I end up trying to go for a roam mid because I see that both Xerath and Volibear are half health. So I wanted to see if it was possible for Kha'Zix to land anything. Victor TP's back mid, and as I see Volibear run into river, I just end up backing off because King ended up calling for Artemis still having R, and that's not a fight I want to take at all. Looks into the trap, and then another W. And it's just back to farming at this point. Once again, ignore me missing CS that I should get. And they're playing just really far off of the wave at this point. So Snyder's just playing super far up, just trying to cancel recalls and threaten to cancel. He doesn't actually have to throw an ability, simply the threat of walking up is enough to cancel them. And I don't actually have to follow just because I can press W. It's just gonna be another crash once again, because my wave is slow pushing. So I crash on this wave. And this is actually a really good play that comes up. Snyder's sweeping the bush. He finds a ward there, but I end up finishing my recall, so I simply just tell him, if you're not able to get your recall off, you can pull the wave for me. And once I get back, we just fight on item advantage. I see Cuddy bought 2 longswords and a refillable that the fire doesn't have a reset at all. So as soon as I get back to the lane, we're just going to be so much stronger because I'm on a Noon Quiver. We do just exactly that. Snyder's not even that far off of 6 at this point because he ends up getting a bit of XP. They play rather scared for the most part, just expecting level 6 to hit sometime soon.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I don't actually get the autos initially just because I'm bad. Now, we have none of those level 6. Connect with the R. I miss my W like an idiot. And I just heal for move speed, just seeing what I can do in order to chase. I'm not scared here at all because Ezreal can't actually kill me when I have pots.
My work, you transcend.
I do end up forcing the heal of my own, so it's just a heal for heal trade at this point.
Breathe in the
I just get to take plates, because I'm in no real threat. The only thing I'd really have to worry about would be a Volibear gank, but at this point, Ezreal is like super low that I don't have to worry about it. And I still have Flash up. We do see Xerath on the ward. It's called. We just back up at this point. I'm sitting on 1,000 gold, so I'm looking to get a reset really soon. Ideally, I would try to get a reset here, but I think in the comms it was called that dragon was spawning soon, so I don't actually get my reset off here. I choose to stay for the wave instead. I believe Ezreal actually reset here. I don't remember from watching the replay. But regardless, I stay here anyways, because I still have a lot of value, even if I'm not on items. We do see Volibear starting the dragon. We do try to walk over to it, but we're a bit split on the map right now. We choose to give dragon instead, because they saw a good pick ahead. It just becomes a bit of a fight after the dragon that the enemy team really shouldn't be taking.
An enemy has been slain.
We do get a kill in return for that, as well as a kill top lane. So it becomes a 1-for-1 fight there. You see Ezreal's here, and because he is forced to play the 2v1, he's pretty much free for the pickings at this point to force off the wave. He flashes the third shot. I miss everything else. The Snyder tries to go for the kill there, doesn't exactly secure it. But at this point, Ezreal's not going to be able to step up for the wave. I kill him in 1 auto. So he's forced to back up off the wave. And I'm able to get matches reset as well. Luxendo ends up taking the wave instead, probably because she was trying to shove it. I was just confused initially. I thought she would try to freeze the wave. And seeing her do that, I don't actually have to worry about canceling my recall. Anyways, just simply coming back to lane at this point. We're in a really good position. We have a lot of kills on the Ness, there's a lot of gold on him. I'm in a good position, Victor's in a good position. Victor's going even in farm right now, so even with 3 deaths, he's perfectly fine. Make that 4 at this point. But regardless, he's still in a really good position to do damage. Our team heavily relies on making it to team fights, because our synergy in team fights is just really good for the most part. I just walk up to the river, just get a bit of vision, and I just play back as soon as I see Volibear walking towards bot side. We do see bot lane trying to walk up river, and we do notice the fight there that's happening just above mid. So we decide to follow. I just decide to ditch the wave because it's not going to crash immediately. I just want to play with Snyder for the most part. We do see a Luminous is a bit low. We just want to force them off the wave. I missed the W, but it's a good cancel from Snyder to cancel the Xerath ult. See the Ezreal ult. Lux flashes forward for me. Doesn't land the binding at all. I'm just healing it out. At this point, I don't really want to stay mid, so I just get my recall. Now that I'm sitting on a Gale Force, I feel really strong in this game right now. I simply just go back mid, and I'll be getting a good amount of farm at this point off of bot. I do see Volibear does take the Herald, so I'm free to push bot for the most part, knowing that Ezreal's not going to be in the lane immediately. The next dragon is going to be spawning soon. At this point, we do want to contest it. We don't exactly want to be giving this dragon at all because we gave the 2 earlier. Thunder misses the hook, but I do open with the curtain call and I hit Death Fire a few times. They end up picking that kill. And then I just play patient, waiting for the Ornn teleport to go through. I do call for it. I see Key Smack, Gale Force forward, land of the Deadly Flourish. It's a good amount of damage at this point, but we don't want to over chase it. Just want to land enough damage to the point we just force them off. You see them on the other angle. Catch the Volibear, then the Deadly Flourish, but he barely gets out with his R.
An enemy has been slain.
Actually, he did die to the Ignite. I thought he was alive there initially. At this point, we do secure the dragon. I just had bot. Luminous goes back mid.
Your turret has
I'm
been
just like looking to
destroyed.
break the tower at this point. Ignore me missing CS, I should actually be getting. It's an easy tower attack because bot lane's not here to contest this at all. We do see the Volibear.
Your team has destroyed
We
a
just
turret.
back off. And
Your team has destroyed
at this
a
point I'll
turret.
just be getting items. Just because I feel really strong this game. I choose to build into LDR over Collector just because of the extremely tanky top jungle that they have. Ezreal also has more health than I do, so LDR will be working on him. You see the Herald drop bot, it's whatever. I'm able to defend it for the most part, hold off for quite a while. I ended up taking a bit more damage from Ezreal than I actually wanted to. So I R to slow Ezreal, but I have to cancel because
An
Volibear
enemy has been
is looking on me. I got a really nice W flash, and I almost outplay it, but I get hit by the Luxalt.
Double
If I
kill.
dodge the Luxalt there, it becomes a really good play for us. It's still a good play regardless, because it's 2 for 1, but it could have been a slightly better. Could have been 2 for 0 if I ended up dodging the Luxalt fast enough.
Killing spree.
At this point, I'm feeling really good. Kha'Zix is strong, Nasus is strong. I feel in a good position, and Victor's able to farm still at this point, even with 4 deaths. Yeah, the CS advantages across the board, except for mid. Mid still feels in a relatively good spot, because I don't think Zera is able to play the game with how far behind his team is. We do see 3 top. potentially 4 with the Xerath roam as well. So I just called the push mid. You see Xerath in the jungle at this point walking towards top. Exodus ends up buying us a lot of time. And I thought the Xerath ult was actually headed for potentially mid. Figured it would be going top, but it ends up going towards top regardless. And it's not on the wave, which is just what it matters.
Destroyed a turret.
You see the Xerath, I just walk away. I just want to be playing slow at this point. I don't exactly want to be forcing a lot of stuff when we're not exactly grouped on the map. We just want to be playing for team fights. We don't need to be playing for catch at all. Especially at this point in the game where we don't really have an objective to force for.
Shut down. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Dragon's spawning within a minute, so I'm just gonna be playing to shove out waves again. That's essentially my typical life. Center almost lines the hook onto Xerath. Exodus is looking for the flank. Nothing actually happens off of it. You end up taking the red here. At this point, we're really strong on the map because the Culling have been playing towards the top side for the past few minutes. They don't actually have a way to really face check it for the most part. We don't have the greatest of vision lines at all, but we know for a fact that they have zero vision because they haven't been on this side of the map in forever. So we're just able to push out mid and essentially just play into a river at this point. I end up placing a trap in the bush that King's in to try and fake that he's not actually standing there, but they just brute force in, and we just back off. Now, Luminous teleports down, and at this point we're looking for a good fight. There's a bit of a break in communication you'll see in a bit. I know you guys can't hear the comms, but we're entering this fight pretty good for the most part. And at this point, Exodus says that King has a really good E angle, and I thought that he actually pressed E, but he didn't. I didn't realize that he didn't press E, so I didn't curtain call immediately. But regardless, it's still a really good fight for us. My curtain call ends up zoning a lot of players out of the fight, and it becomes a split fight where we're able to focus the two on the right.
An enemy has been slain.
Go push forward, nothing really happens. Centerman goes for a ballsy flash play. Luminous gets blown up. But we get the dragon regardless, and it's a good fight for us anyways. Walk over to the dragon, just to give it a few autos. I don't realize that Snedder's actually fighting. So he ends up dying there.
Shut down.
Tried for the go for this W snipe, don't actually hit. King lands a bit of damage. I just get a reset because I have LD already on base. It's going to be our next objective to look towards at this point. So I'm just heading down mid, looking to shove out the wave again and play around vision for fights.
You inspire me. Through my work, you shall transcend.
Ended up walking back to mid, catching that wave. At this point, I don't want to get hit by Xerath because Xerath does a lot of damage at this point with his items. Pretty much just half health me with 2 abilities. So I'm pretty low. I do still want to be playing to fight for mid wave. I just need to play slowly, just so I don't get one shot. I see Xerath on this side, potentially looking towards bot, so I have a bit more agency in terms of what I can do. Try to look for the pick. That's real. Volibear tanks a lot of the shots, but it's whatever. Try to play up, but I'm still playing on a really low health bar at this point, so I still have to play this really slowly. The Xerath ult comes out, I walk into the Ezreal ult instead, but I just live on like 2 health. And at this point, I can't actually even auto the wave to heal up. I'm just forced to back off. It's gonna be a Baron angle for them. Seeing this, I'm eager to stay, trying to heal up off the wave, but there's not actually much I can do. I can't actually heal up fast enough. Exodus calls for a really good play. He ends up TPing bot once we decide to give Dragon. And in the comms, I'm telling Snyderman to walk up as soon as they finish the Baron. Just walk up and try to cancel them. I tell him if he dies, it's worth it. So here I pan my camera, I look at Snyderman, he autos the word. 4 people turn on him. And I was just laughing the whole time. I was just laughing the whole time when that happened, because I didn't think 4 people would turn on him. I thought it would just be 2 or 3. And then they have their main carries reset, go back to base, buy items, and then stop the inhib take. But we get the inhib for that. And this inhib is really crucial for the rest of the game for us. I'm just gonna be fighting for mid wave once again, even through the Baron minions at this point. Even though I don't see anybody, I'm not exactly too scared, because we have a decent amount of vision set up on towards top side. Dragon is gonna be spawning within a minute, so we're gonna be looking for that. But regardless, because bot lane inhib is down, that's a lot of pressure we have on the map despite them having Baron. Ezreal showing mid, I hit him with a little deadly flourish. Same thing again. We see 4 people playing towards mid. We know Ornn was around bot. In fact, he shows bot again. So we know that there's 4 members playing pretty close to a choke. So we're looking to walk in through the vision that we already have set up. We do see the Ezreal. He gets tagged with a death laser, so I follow up with another deadly flourish. And Exodus has a really good angle. They're not actually starting the dragon immediately, so I'm looking to push mid once again to make them respond to it. We do still have the pressure from bot and him being taken. And at this point, once they start doing a bit more damage on the dragon, I wait for the Ornn to go out. And another W, and at this point, this is when I crit call. Missed a few of my shots. I ended up tagging Ornn just because it was an easy target. And I kill Ezreal. Well, the rest of my team just cleans up on the bot side.
You have slain an enemy.
It's a really clean fight for us. Curtain Call ends up splitting the fight regardless. And it ended up killing the Ornn off of it. And at this point, we just play through the bot end hit. If we hadn't have taken this earlier, there's a very good chance we wouldn't be able to end the game off of it.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Lux hits me with the ult. I say whatever. Auto. And that's the game end. So yeah, let me know what you think of this. And thank you for watching.
Victory!